영화 보시기 전에 구독, 좋아요.
DJ, this won't hurt, I promise.
소아과 의사인 캐롤린은 평소와 다름없이 환자들을 진찰하던 중
He had no business being on his brother's sled. That darn thing's bigger than he is. You're needed downstairs. See you later.
Big V, she's gone. She wasn't gonna make it anyway.
심각한 부상을 입은 채 병원으로 실려온 마사를 발견하고 큰 충격을 받습니다.
What happened?
Some bastard clobbered her up near Poor Farm Road and left her there. She was lying in the snow by that pond.
Martha Tavener.
I've met her. I even treated her once, I think, when you were on vacation, Trigby, remember?
Yeah. He's still out there, whoever did this. Could be anywhere.
몇 시간 뒤 캐롤린은 퇴근 후 평범한 저녁을 기대하며 집에 돌아오지만
Jake's parking is getting sloppier than ever. Man, his car's all over the place. Ben? I swear I could hardly even get mine in the garage.
Parking it right would feel too much like work.
Fred!
Dr. Ryan?
경찰서장 프렌이 예상치 못하게 집을 방문하죠.
Get you something, Fran? A beer if you're not on duty?
No, Ben, that's okay.
프렌은 다소 긴장된 얼굴로 가족들을 마주하며
Is Jacob around?
He's up in his room, I guess, with those damn headphones on. You know, Jacob.
Something happened out on Poor Farm Road today. Something pretty bad. A girl got herself killed.
I know. I saw her.
조심스럽게 마사 타버너의 죽음과 관련된 내용을 전합니다.
Jacob was seen with the girl. He picked her up from work. As far as we know, right now, he was the last person with her.
Are you saying Jacob was dating that girl, Martha Tavener?
No. What he's saying is, he's standing here in our kitchen saying that he thinks our son was. Oh, for crying out loud,
Ben,
Fran!
Hey, let's not jump the gun here. I just need to talk.
Jacob!
It's not up there. I looked
Well,
all
that's
over.
crazy. His car's in the garage. I just saw it.
Do you have a spare set of keys for the car?
그러나 벤은 경찰의 요구를 강하게 거부하며 영장을 가져오라고 맞서고
Wait. I'm sure there's some very simple explanation for all of this. Jacob and the Taverner girl must have separated somehow before this even happened. You know, maybe he just dropped her off somewhere.
캐롤린 또한 남편의 완강한 태도에 당황하면서도 어머니로서 아들을 보호해야 한다는 생각에 동의하죠.
Are you his parents? You want to protect them? I got kids too. Ben, is there something that you know that you're not telling me?
경찰의 의심과 제이크의 행방불명으로 인해 점점 커지는 불안감 속에서
Wherever he is, whatever they think he did, Jacob has rights to.
We just have to take this one step at a time, okay? You and I'll look in the house, top to bottom.
벤은 마침내 차 트렁크를 열어보지만 그곳에서 피로 얼룩진 장갑과 공구들이 발견되자 충격과 공포에 휩싸입니다. 한편 캐롤린은 주디스와 대화를 통해 사건의 또 다른 단서를 얻게 되죠.
He and Daddy. You know, they had another fight.
What?
You know that Jacob wants to rent a big car for the winter dance and like ride around all night?
Mm-hmm.
Jake said to Daddy, you think because you're this big artist, it's like rules don't apply to you, but they should always apply to me.
벤은 차고에서 발견한 피 묻은 장갑과 공구들이 아들에게 불리한 증거가 될 것을 직감하고 공포와 절박함에 휩싸여 모두 불태워 없애버립니다.
Alright, let's go. Okay.
You are asking for trouble in this. You're not thinking clear.
그러나 프레는 차고를 둘러보며 벤을 압박하고
I can't use Carolyn's car. She has a fit. And the Jeep's too small.
What about the floor? Where'd all this sawdust come from?
만약 제이크가 사건의 범인으로 밝혀진다면 벤 또한 증거 인멸과 사건 은폐로 책임을 피할 수 없을 것이라고 강하게 경고하죠.
There was blood in the car.
Blood?
Her blood on his jack. Blood everywhere.
How do you know it was her blood? For God's sake, it might be his. Show me. I want to see it.
No, you don't want to. Believe me. Anyway, it's been taken care of.
What? What do you mean, taken care
벤은
of?
캐롤린에게 피 묻은 증거들을 이미 처리했다고 몰래 전하지만
You can't just destroy evidence that might save him. You can't just. What if you've destroyed evidence that would prove he's innocent?
캐롤린은 벤의 행동이 아들의 결백을 밝힐 기회를 앗아간 것은 아닌지 가슴 깊은 곳에서 밀려오는 두려움과 혼란으로 무너져 내립니다.
How do you know that they were alone in that car? Someone else might have been there and killed that girl.
시간이 흐르지만 제이크는 여전히 집에 돌아오지 않고 마을에는 그와 관련된 소문이 빠르게 퍼지기 시작하죠. 그러던 중 집으로 제이크가 보낸 것으로 보이는 편지가 도착합니다.
Dear folks, took a long time to get to Boston in that big storm. Wasn't sure we'd make it. I might move on. I might hang out here a while. I'll try to write. I know you don't pray, but pray now.
캐롤린은 편지를 보자마자 경찰에 신고하자고 주장하지만
Listen to me. Will you just listen to me? If Frank sees this, the first thing he'll do is get a court order to intercept our mail and tap our phones. Then you can forget about ever hearing from Jake again. And that's just for starters.
벤은 제이크가 또다시 도망칠지 모른다는 불안감에 신고를 말리죠.
Do we really want him caught?
I just want my boy back. I just want to hold him again. I just want my boy.
Good night, Karen. I'll see you for my 8 o'clock.
Mrs. Weber canceled, Doctor. She said you'd understand.
Okay.
Night.
Night.
며칠 후 캐롤린 또한 병원에서도 소문이 퍼지며 일부 환자들이 진료를 거부하는 상황에 직면합니다.
St. Louis on March 11th. That's the third card. And he was in LA just 2 days later. It's a new one, California.
그 와중에 제이크에게서 계속해서 편지가 날아오지만
Jacob Ryan, the 16-year-old Highland resident who is a suspect in the murder of Martha Tavener, was a fugitive for 5 weeks. The teenager, as reported moments ago, was arrested this afternoon in the building you see behind me. Apparently, the young fugitive was hiding in a friend's apartment.
편지 내용과는 달리 TV 뉴스에서는 충격적인 소식이 전해지죠.
How are you, son?
Where were you?
Jake, first off, your sister, she wanted us to ask you, the postcards, were you really in all those places, Jake? Or were you here the whole time in your friend Darren's apartment? Huh?
제이크는 경찰에 체포된 후 가족들의 애타는 질문에도 입을 굳게 다물고 아무런 대답을 하지 않죠.
Tell me,
You realize
please.
Jake.
God damn it. mister? Have you any idea what you
Maybe
put
he
us
doesn't
through?
even know. Do
Any
you even
idea?
know why you're here? Have they told you? Do you know what happened to Martha Taverner?
There is a warrant for you back in Highland.
Yeah,
Do you understand
that's right.
that?
But you may be able to come home. First, they just have to have a hearing in front of a judge.
재판 당일 법정 앞에는 분노한 마을 주민들이 몰려와 보석 반대 시위를 벌이며 긴장감이 고조되지만
Jacob Ryan, you've heard the charge against you.
Jacob Ryan is charged with a terrible and almost unthinkable crime. Moreover, the people will prove that he exacerbated that crime after the fact by his cunning, deliberate, and cold-blooded destruction of evidence.
제이크는 여전히 입을 열지 않고 무표정한 태도를 유지합니다.
Marion, I'm just not persuaded this boy is a threat to the general community.
Your Honor, I was also thinking of their threat to him.
Defendant, please rise. Pre-trial release granted.
가족들은 불구속 기소 결정에 안도하지만
Jacob? Maybe you want to have some soup first, or a sandwich or something.
여전히 침묵을 지키는 제이크의 태도와 사건의 진실을 둘러싼 의혹은 더욱 깊어지죠. 두 사람은 웬델의 추천을 받아 형사 재판 전문 변호사인 파노스를 찾아갑니다.
I just meant, do you have to believe someone is innocent in order to take his case?
A lot of my clients haven't been innocent of anything you'd care to lay on them since they were 5 years old. But they still deserve a good defense, right? Yeah. Juries in cases of this nature, they tend to be very emotional. They tend to feel that where there's smoke, there's fire. And hey, I mean, I could be up there arguing that Jacob is the most perfect kid in the world. That's one strategy. But what they'll be thinking, what they'll see in their mind's eye, I'll never forget, is this.
캐롤린은 환자를 직접 치료했던 의사로서 사건의 잔혹함과 아들을 향한 의심의 감정을 억누르지 못하지만
Look, I'm sorry, folks. But if you don't like me now, what are you going to say when I have to get up in front of that jury and argue that your son is not guilty by reason of diminished mental capacity?
파노스는 감정적인 대응을 자제하고 현실적인 전략을 세울 것을 요구하죠.
Listen, Dr. Ryan, you want to jump in the trenches with me? Well, you better muscle up and lose your bedside manner and trust me to be as good at my job as you are at yours.
Do you believe that I'm not guilty?
그날 저녁 제이크는 담담한 얼굴로 가족들에게 사건의 전말을 고백합니다.
I hung out a lot this year. I kept meaning to tell you guys. I wanted you to know, but
I'm pregnant.
look. I didn't mean what I said. I'm sorry. I really am.
그는 마사와 사귀던 중 다른 남자의 아이를 임신했다는 소식을 듣고 격렬한 말다툼을 벌였지만 결국 서로 화해하며 상황을 정리하려 했다고 설명하죠.
Trying rocking it, pushing it. First me, then both of us. We even tried putting floor mats under the wheels. We just ended up digging ourselves in deeper. So finally she says, get the jack.
This is the reason I can't be with you.
그러나 눈길에 차가 빠지면서 문제가 생기고
If I were with Kevin or Matt, I'd be home by now. What the hell? Why are you
said
such a...
shut up, all right?
Rich kid. Fucking pussy.
격해진 몸싸움 속에서 제이크는 마사를 밀쳤고 그녀가 공구에 머리를 부딪히며 치명적인 부상을 입고 숨을 거두게 되었다고 전합니다.
It wasn't even something I was trying to do it. It wasn't even me. If I just missed her by 1 inch.
Jacob, listen to me. That night when I came out here, I didn't even know what I was doing. Pure instinct. But maybe I bought us a chance. They've got no murder weapon, no physical evidence, no witnesses.
며칠 후 벤은 제이크와 단둘이 대화를 나누며 사건을 무마하기 위한 거짓 진술을 계획합니다.
So, if we all just keep quiet, maybe they've got no case. Maybe you'll walk away from this with some kind of a life still ahead of you.
If I just told the truth.
The fact that you ran away, never went for help, never came forward at all.
제이크는 아버지의 제안에 혼란과 죄책감에 휩싸이지만 벤은 침묵이야말로 자신을 지킬 수 있는 최선의 방어 수단임을 강하게 어필하죠.
Mrs. Taverner. This has been, for me, for all of us, it's the hardest. I've spent 1,000 hours not sleeping, thinking about.
다음 날 캐롤린은 타버너 부인에게 사건의 비극에 대한 슬픔을 진심으로 토로하지만
She was alive in the morning when I said goodbye to her. You're a doctor. You think about this where she is now. And nothing you say is going to get any pity out of me.
I'm not asking for your pity. I'm just.
You're trying to get him off. With your big shot lawyer and all your money. He's free to walk the streets right now, and you're trying to get him off. People like you think they own the world.
그녀는 특권층의 오만함과 부당함에 대한 분노를 드러내며 강하게 비난하죠. 긴 고민 끝에 결국 캐롤린은 남편과 변호사가 준비한 거짓 진술을 거부하고 법정에서 진실을 밝힙니다.
I don't know what you're going to do about this.
You come with me. They tell their version of the story, we tell ours, and these 12 people decide the truth.
It's not the truth. You're talking about a contest between ad campaigns.
I'm talking about saving your son.
So am I. It's absolute why I did this, Panos. Finally, it's just one true thing. Absolute. I didn't ask your permission because I didn't want it.
그날 밤 아내가 계획한 진술을 번복했다는 사실에 벤은 충격과 배신감에 휩싸여 격렬하게 분노하지만
I love you and I wanted to save you. But save you for what? As what?
Everything he's been for 16 years, everything he is, that wasn't enough to make him valuable.
캐롤린은 아들을 진정으로 돕기 위해 선택한 길이라며 맞섭니다.
Jakey, I did this for you, for both of you. I only was trying to help you.
Come on.
You understand
They're
that,
asking
don't
a hell of a
you?
lot if you expect your own son to understand why you betrayed him.
I didn't, but you can't. God damn it, just stop it, all right?
Both of you.
다음 날 제이크가 갑자기 사라진 것을 알게 된 가족들은 패닉에 빠져 그를 찾아 나서고
Jacob! He's gone. He's gone.
The jeep's gone. He's running again, and this time he'll never stop.
No, he didn't take any clothes or food. I'm almost sure, Ben.
Maybe he doesn't think he'll need them. Maybe he's gonna drive that thing straight into a tree.
제이크는 스스로 자수할 결심으로 경찰서에 도착하지만
Turns out that's not that easy, even if you really want to. Turns out that my statement isn't legal unless it's signed by my parents.
미성년자인 그는 부모의 서명이 필요하다는 말에
You're still upset from last night. You're not thinking clearly.
Please, I am thinking clearly. And we'll probably take it with just Mom's signature on it. But I need you to do this. I need you to do this, please. I need this for me, please.
아버지에게 서명을 부탁하며 자신을 믿어달라고 호소하죠.
I love you too much, Jake.
Nothing can ever take me away from you.
결국 벤은 아들을 지키고 싶은 사랑과 현실을 받아들여야 한다는 갈등 속에서 무겁게 서명을 결정합니다.
I wish we could go back. I never knew how much you loved me.
Having reviewed all the evidence and testimony in the case of the People versus Jacob Bryan, juvenile, this court is now prepared to render judgment, and done so at your own insistence without stipulating a plea bargain. I find you guilty of involuntary manslaughter in the second degree.
재판에서 제이크는 계획적 범행이 아닌 과실치사로 판결받고 5년 이하의 재활원 수감형을 선고받습니다.
Still think it was worth it.
가족들은 법적 절차를 마친 뒤 일상으로 돌아가지만 사건의 상처는 쉽게 지워지지 않습니다.
I look at Jacob now and I think about how different our lives might have been. All of us. And that's the saddest part of all.
Hey Jude, look!
But lately, sometimes, I can feel myself starting to come alive again. And it's scary, kind of. Your whole life can change in a second. And you never even know when it's coming.
그러나 그들은 고통을 통해 성장하며 삶의 불완전함 속에서도 앞으로 나아가는 법을 배우는 모습으로 영화는 끝이 납니다. 비포 앤 애프터는 매사추세츠주의 작은 마을에서 발생한 범죄 사건을 중심으로 아들의 무죄를 믿으려는 부모가 진실과 가족의 균열 사이에서 극심한 갈등을 겪는 과정을 그린 영화인데요. 악마는 프라다를 입는다로도 잘 알려진 메릴 스트립은 극중 어머니 역할을 소화하기 위해 자신의 모성애를 연기에 녹여냈다고 밝혔으며 터미네이터2의 존 코너로 인기를 얻었던 에드워드 펄롱은 청소년 시절 겪었던 실제 가정 갈등이 연기에 큰 도움이 되었다고 전했습니다. 리암 니슨과 메릴 스트립의 탄탄한 연기력은 영화의 완성도를 높였고 도덕적 딜레마를 진지하게 다룬 점에서 높은 평가를 받기도 했지만 전개가 다소 평범하고 긴장감이 부족하다는 아쉬운 평가도 있었습니다. 가족 간의 갈등과 신뢰에 대해 생각해보고 싶은 분들, 현실적인 드라마와 도덕적 문제를 고민해보고 싶은 분들께 비포 앤 애프터 추천드리며 이상 명작 소녀였습니다.